What's going on, guys? It is Darth. We've got Queen's Blade Limit Break loaded up, and in this one we're going to be going over the brand new warrior. In fact, it's not just a brand new warrior, it's a brand new SP warrior under the break attribute. This is going to be the second warrior that they finally released under the break, second SP warrior they released under the break attribute. They have been leaning heavily into the other attributes for new release on warriors, and Duo was falling behind, and then they just exploded with 2 in a row SP warriors, solid warriors. They're circling back. I've noticed that they've been kind of neglecting the break attribute. Well, they circled back and did another new release warrior. I'm going to give you my thoughts on it. We're going to go over her skill sets real quick, maybe a couple of team comp recommendations, how I feel about her. We're going to definitely take a look at what she looks like as well as her spicy pose, whether or not I think you should pull for her, as if you didn't know, how I feel about pulling, how far I am going to pull for her, and how far I think that you could pull for her, depending upon where you are at in the game. So without further ado, let's just do this. I want to show you this screenshot that I take on the login screen because I usually hide these things and forget that I'm going to do a video on them or not. But man, I love the artwork that this game continues to impress with. Outside of the beasts, which are more comical than anything, she looks really solid. This is the Divine Herald Nanael. She's probably part of the Nanael sisters or family, yada yada yada. Color scheme, great. Her pose, great. She's got this huge crown, and I don't know what it is, but I love these huge aspects of the armor pieces. If you just saw the new skill warrior, the shield ally, she's got a huge shield. I am a big fan of not every component of the armor, but certain components of the armor just being elaborate and beautiful, and the fact that it just floats on her head like that is absolutely amazing. It's not the only thing that floats. We're going to take a look at her live. This little spear thing that she has also floats. It's like a floating weapon. Let's jump in here. Sorry I'm talking so fast. I'm trying to get this recorded before my roommates get home, and I hope you can't hear the dryer on in the background. Let's take a look at the spicy pose. Very, very simple. I love her dress. Like a lot of the things, though, in this game when it comes to spicy pose, sometimes they look very battle weary. This has a very sexy yet simple battle weary look to her. It's not overly elaborate, but it's not overly sexualized, which, don't get me wrong, I love. That's what I love about this game. Her crown is effed up. She's just sitting there like, man, I'm just tired of battle. Her spear, which seems to be a little flying, kind of like reminiscence of a witch broom, just is battle trodden as well, and she just looks like she's just tired and she's got a headache for all intents and purposes. The man walks in, says, hey honey, we gonna do it tonight? I got a headache. You know what I mean? That kind of battle weary. Anyways, let's go take a look at her skill set real quick. Always start with her passive here, because it's going to be a general passive that generally falls in line with the type of warrior she is. She's a mage damage dealer, not necessarily a mage support. She's a mage damage dealer. Attack plus 50%, so any attack that you gain an increase, she's going to get a 50% increase. HP 30%, that's pretty standard on SP warriors. She's going to get a crit rate bonus of 20% instead of a standard 10 that would apply to a lot of warriors, which is a great start to a crit rate. You want your damage dealers to crit. What's interesting is that unlike a lot of warriors in this game, sometimes the SP warriors will stop there. Well, she has a secondary ability when battle starts, damage resistance. This is damage reduction. Think of it as damage reduction, 60% for 6 turns, decreasing by 10% each turn. I like this because she has value. She gets a 60% damage reduction, and it lasts 6 turns. Not 1 turn, not 2 turns, 6 turns, making it valuable. But so that it's not too overpowered, she's going to decrease by 10%. Keep in mind, break is also known for their natural damage resistance on an individual warrior basis. If you look at a lot of the warriors under the the break attribute, they have natural damage resistance, making it usually an all-out assault type of a team, in my opinion. lasting 6 turns, decreasing by 10% each turn. So take a look at the rest of these skills because they all kind of fall in line. They're very interesting here. Starting with the first ability, deals 120% magic damage, which is it's kind of low to all enemies. However, when attacking, if the target, this is a translation error, if the target has 15 star glows, we'll take a look at star glows in just a second. It doesn't mean the enemy target, it means her. When she has 15 stacks of star glow, she'll deal an additional 80% magic damage. On top of this, it gets added to this 120 as she builds up these stacks. Magic damage, and she'll restore HP equal to 100% of her attack. Now, this HP restoration is one time at 15 stacks. I don't recall now, after I played around with her, if it triggers every 15 stacks, but anyways, at 30 stacks, she will have an 80% chance to inflict seal, which it will be the target will be unable to deal crit damage, and passive skills don't trigger. This is an extremely powerful ability. You see this on Swift Tracer, which is why a lot of people like using her, because passives are very powerful in this game. If the target has 45 stacks of Star Glow, this skill will not be on cooldown. Okay, I love that. If the target has 60 Star Glow, deals an additional 100% magic damage that ignores defense. And I believe this is in addition to the 80 plus 20 once you reach the stacks. We'll take a look at that here in just a second. Seal is a very powerful ability. Passive, what's an example of passive skills not triggering? Think Bee Sigui. There's others. I'm just thinking of Big Sigui because her passive is annoying as hell if you don't strip her healing, which you can do, by the way. But if you can inflict seal, which Swift Tracer does inflict seal, but without immobilization, because it isn't it's not an immobilization effect. It is a conditional effect, so it's not affected by immobilization. So Swift Tracer actually has a very low chance of that triggering. Even though it does trigger, it's a low chance, which makes Magic Barrage a star rune skill or 11 or 12 star awakening skill to use on her. Basically, anytime she attacks, or let's go and take a look at what Star Glow really does before we get too far in that. When an ally takes an action, including, this is interesting, follow-up, barrage, counter, acquire 1 Star Glow. Star Glow, each stack of Star Glow gives the owner 3% additional attack. Cannot be removed. This is huge. Can stack up to 60 times, as we just saw. When 30 Star Glows are added, recover 50% of own max HP once. When 60 Star Glows are added, remove all debuffs and recover all HP, and grants immobilization resist until battle ends. Now, it does not say 50, 60, 20% immobilization resist, and this is something that I've seen in this game. I want to know if this is 100% immobilization resistance, because this is how they word a lot of them. If you look at, for instance, Pied Piper, under the physical attribute, she does the same thing when her health gets too low. It grants immobilization resist. If you know, sound off in the comments. So, basically, anytime she attacks, she gets Star Glow. Anytime any one of your allies take an attack, including follow-up and barrage, which doesn't normally happen on warriors, which makes this warrior very unique, she's going to stack up attack via Star Glows, and she's going to get all these benefits and bonuses, including this first ability here, removing its cooldown. Very big. Let's take a look at the last one. When an enemy takes action, inflicts 50% magic damage, which ignores defense. Activates only once per turn. From my playtesting, what I've seen about this is that it activates once per ally movement, excluding barrage, excluding like if the fish mezzes somebody and you attack somebody. It's kind of wonky. I think that there's some definite issues there on this particular ability, but that's it in a nutshell. Her skill here is attack up through Star Glow, damage resistance for 6 turns at least, and growth. Basically growing in power and doing all these different things, including adding seal. One thing I'm disappointed about, okay, and I wish there was more of this, is I'm noticing the lack of themes on the break attribute outside of the damage resistance I talked about at the beginning of the video. I'm talking about the debuff damage. Other attributes really, they're debuff damage. I'm talking about curse, I'm talking about burns, I'm talking about, you know, bleeds. They're really powerful, and the warriors themselves, normal attacks are actually pretty powerful as well. Static is something that you really only see on 2 break warriors. I'm talking about Swift Tracer, and I'm talking about, where is it here? I'm talking about Alicia. They inflict the debuff damage that break is known for, and that is static. Okay, I would like to see static on this warrior, but she is a solid warrior. They did much better this time around at programming a warrior than they did with the original SP warrior, the summoner. They made changes to the summoner, and I still don't think that she's worth it, in my opinion. That's just me, the way that they programmed her, even with the updates. But anyways, let's get back to what we're going over here. Let's take a look at her in action here, just because I want you, and yes, I have done this. So before I do that, or as I'm doing that, let's just go in here and talk about team comps. Because you're going to want her to stack glow as fast as possible, she actually fits in really well with multi-attackers, county attackers, follow-up attackers, barrages, Alicia, Spicy Pirate, and the hair from the physical attribute. Why? Because with her recent updates, I didn't really like her the first time, but she actually is a follow-up attacker, and she attacks off of almost any attack as well. We're going to kind of see that as we go through. Whoops. Here we go. Slow this down just for the sake. So she's going to attack. You see how she's just stacking that star glow? But you see how hair, every time an ally takes an action, the hair is also attacking, and she's building up that star glow stack. So she's building up super quick with these multi-attackers. Now, if I had barrage equipped, because it doesn't seem like it's going off, or maybe I just have the wrong warriors, that barrage will also trigger that glow. So she's doing that attack of hers. I just want you to see that attack. So watch this attack. It comes down. That's that main attack. Now, this shield that she has on her, that's how you know that the damage resist is still on. Keep in mind, she gets 60% damage resist for 6 turns. And it only goes down by 10% each time. And that damage resistance actually stacks with other damage resistances that you have, making her a solid warrior in terms of taking a lot of damage and dishing it out. She's actually very powerful. Now, I say that knowing that I don't have her in a real environment yet, because I have not pulled for her. Now, the other thing about her is when she attacks, when an ally or an enemy, takes an action, she's supposed to do 50% magic attack, and that's where things are a little wonky. So you see how she's mezzed and she took an attack? There it was right there. So that's basically what it was, and it happens once per ally action. So that's just the way that I read that. So let's get out of here and go back out. Would I pull for her? Yes, I love the break. Break is still my my primary attribute. I love her, other than the fact that they continue to leave static out of the break attributes. I love this warrior. She is on a standard, what looks like on at least on the first and SP rotation, 13 days. So I am going to pull for her to my standard 8 to 9 star. I may actually take her to 10 star because I will be using gems to do so. 10 star is going to be my goal so that I can unlock her full battle potential, get her added to my my boot camp so that I can test out her actual damage in a more serious environment, like against trying to think of it here. Monster Takedown, because I like the hair in Monster Takedown now as well as Tower and in PvP. I love her spicy pose. I'm definitely going to unlock the first version of that, as I have been doing, although I am getting low on books. We're going to talk about that. It leads into my next video. I'm going to be going over an update to my account in various ways. I haven't done something like that in a long time. But let me know what you guys thought in the comment section. First of all, of this look. Very good. Her spicy pose look, very tame, yet very, very potent in terms of how I actually think it's one of my favorites. Let me know what you think of her skills as we've gone over her. Remember, she's going to be really shining in a multi-attack environment, ally environment, where she can stack that glow up really, really quick. Definitely did a good job in programming this warrior. I hope they don't make too many changes to her, except maybe adding the static debuff to her in a future patch. But she doesn't need any more fine-tuning other than fixing that last ability so that it triggers every time. Are you going to pull for her? How far are you going to pull for her, guys? Are you going to go up to 10 this time? You going to unlock that spicy pose? Let me know in the comments section, guys. See you in the next one.